who decided to put you guys together? What was the genesis of that in TNA?
Dude, I don't know. That'd be a Kevin answer right there, man.
God, like all the guys, like all the top guys used to always dress like in this one little tiny room.
That's
Uh-huh.
true.
And I was just like, and I was notoriously fucking a 4 o'clock show up. Like
Yep.
you weren't gonna like. I used to love that they'd have these sheets with your
Time sheet.
name, and it would have your put your time in. And I
Yep.
would always put 1099.
Oh, your tax status, yes.
Yeah,
Not an
like
employee.
I'm not an employee, and I used to have in my briefcase the paperwork from the state of Florida. You are an employee in the state of Florida. Number one, if you have to show up to work at a specific time. If
Yep.
you're painting somebody's house, you're at 1099. He can't fucking come out and fire you day one because, hey man, I wanted you here at 6:05. Fuck you. Our agreement was I have 2 weeks to paint your fucking house.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
I mean,
It was nice though, riding
Yeah.
with you. Like when I stayed with you. So there was a point, like this isn't to put Kev over, but it is to put Kev over. There was a point where the lower card guys like me and Sanjay and Jay Lethal and Chris Sabin and PD, we all got our hotel rooms taken away from us. The company was paying for all that for a little while. And for quite a while, I roomed with Kevin. Kevin's like, you can come room with me, man. Don't worry about it. I'll get a double bed in my room. And we would show up to the tapings on Kevin's time, which was great because we would go to the gym and then go to Waffle House.
We would always get our Gold's Gym workout in at Turkey.
Yep. It was like, oh, cool, man. This is like how it's supposed to be, you know? And the killer part was too, like we're showing up at 4 o'clock and it didn't fucking matter because we're going to film our show at like 11 o'clock anyway. So it's like, okay, man, like you didn't need us there at all. Half the time
we were shooting nights.
Yeah, always.
Everybody else is on the deck. I'm sorry, man. We're shooting nights. I'm
Right.
not going to be. I don't need to watch any wrestling.
No. Like I didn't have matches most of the time. And even if I did, it's like, okay, well, how long do you really need to put a match together? I think 3 hours is going to be suffice, right? For a 6-minute match.
I think especially you.
Yeah, right.
I think you kind of like really early in your career really kind of had a handle on it.
Yeah. Like you
actually showed me like a couple of things, and I was just like, oh, okay, I could actually like do that move.
Oh, absolutely.
And you taught it to me quickly. It's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because when I was there, like before I started with you, I would be in the ring before every show, just drilling and doing new moves and practicing all these different styles of wrestling. But it was awesome when we got to room together because I could show up late, because I could go to the gym, because I could sleep. It was like, oh man, this is nice.
It would be like, not only when we go to the gym, it'd be like, think we can sneak Cracker Barrel in?
Yeah.
Just get a decent meal in too, man. Like that's.
But you know what? I learned a shit ton from you on those trips too, or those days, because I remember you telling me, and I'll never forget this. I tell people this all the time. You were the first person to tell me, because back then wrestling was so weight focused. Oh, Shelly, you got to be like 200 pounds. And the words out of your mouth, and there's many that I remember very vividly, but this was paramount, was, Patrick, do you want to be the world's strongest guy or look like the world's strongest guy? And I was like, oh shit, good point. You're like, dude, you're fine. You can be 170, 180 and just look like you're 200 pounds if you're shredded.
Eddie Guerrero, when you saw him in the ring, Eddie Guerrero looked like he was 2 1/4.
Yep. He was so thick.
Yeah.
Dude, he was lean. He had those shoulders, a wide, boxy frame.
Yeah.
Yeah. He probably weighed what, like 180, 185?
Maybe, yeah.
Ish, yeah, because he was a 5'6" guy. Like I was taller than he was, still am. But yeah, and I thought, okay, that makes a whole lot of sense. And if it's coming from you, and you told me that because I remember you anecdotally explained, well, there was a point when I was riding with Sean and HBK started to like want to gain weight. So he started eating like I did. And he's like, yeah, eventually he gained so much weight, but he lost some of his mobility and athleticism. It was like, okay, trim up. And the leaner you look, the bigger you look.
Yeah.
Yep. Ever.
Absolutely.
You were like 23 when you got put with Kev, right?
Oh man,
So you
20
got like
actually
what is
I
it?
was like,
22.
22. So, I mean, you got what a gift.
Oh,
I
dude,
was-
With a
what was
vet.
I was 50, right? 51.
yeah, you're probably around there. Yeah. But
Yeah.
I think what really made me comfortable with Kev right from the rip was in 2004 was when I first signed with TNA, and you and Scott came in like in the fall of 2004. And that's a big deal for guys in my generation because we grew up watching you guys, right? Like we didn't grow up watching America's Most Wanted or some shit or the Naturals, it was like we grew up on the new generation WWF. That was what was important to us. And I remember Scott's first day, we had catering, everybody sat down, he went boom right to the X Division table and sat down and just hung out with us. And then you showed up too, and I was like, oh man, these guys are fucking sweet. He had his Hustle Monster Army.
Oh yeah.
God, yeah. You guys are doing-
Yeah.
yeah, I was like,
I
these
mean,
guys are
this-
fucking dope, man.
Well, that was the whole thing that Scott used to always say, be like, "Oh man, school like let's go." Like we were like vampires, because you get jaded, man. You have no desire to do it, and then it's like, let's go get around the hungry guys, so we
Yep.
can remember what it was like, so we can fucking lose our attitude.
It was so cool. It was so cool.
See, because Scott loved the business.
Yeah. He was
You know?
he was awesome.
He just loved the business, man. It was one thing Scott would always say. He'd say, "I'm a fucking just a complete wreck." He says, "I get up in the morning, I'm a fucking wreck. I go to bed tonight, I'm a fucking wreck. And I have no control of my life except however much time they give me in the ring.
I like that.
If I get 23 minutes, man, I'm in control of 23 minutes of my life."
Yeah, he's like a prototype pro wrestler. You know what I mean? Like to me,
Yeah. If you were to fucking draw a pro wrestler,
it's Razor Ramon, man.
Yeah.
It's Scott. Yeah, and that's something I use because now I'm at the point where I do all these independent shows outside Impact, but a lot of people want to have these seminars, and I've got 20, 30 kids, right? And I'm trying to explain to them that you have to project something that's larger than life. And I don't think a lot of guys get that because there aren't any more characters like that anymore. And to me, that's what drew it in. It was like, wow, man, these guys look awesome and they wrestle awesome. And everybody's got a really distinct look that they vibe with. And I said, man, you got to believe in what you're. And that was another thing you taught me too, man. It was like, I remember we were watching a match. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but we were in the back and somebody made a hot tag and it was just the most white meat babyface can bullshit I've ever seen. And you saw it too. And you said right away, nobody buys this stuff because this guy's just acting. Like he doesn't believe what he's doing. And you said, dude, the secret to the NWO was we were having fun. And if we were having fun, people wanted to have fun with us because we believed in what we were doing. We were just trying to pop each other. I still relay that to all these kids, like in all these
man.
words out of your mouth, dude.
If you go out there and you're miserable, it's like when you would see a guy come down the ramp and you knew because you looked at the board that he was doing the job, and you would see him come down, and it was like the Green Mile. That motherfucker coming down the ramp would just be like, I'm like, geez, dude, why don't you should just at this point do the finger poke of doom and get it over with. Like, no reason to bump. I know you're fucking doing a job.
No. Like, I think a lot of people lose the fact that this is supposed to be fun at some level. Like, you're supposed to have fun with this shit. Like, it's supposed to be a business too. There's no doubt about that. But fuck, man, you play sports. Well, wrestling is a fucking full contact sport. So you better enjoy what you're doing if you actually want people to have fun with you and enjoy that shit.
Alex,